For everybody saying men don't marry the love of their life, they marry the girl that's around when they're ready. What are we supposed to do with that information exactly? For everybody,
When we say men only marry the woman in front of them, not the woman that they love, they only want to marry you because you're the one available at that point and they are ready to get married. This kind of conversation is causing a lot of problem for women that want to get married. And they're saying that, okay, what should we do about this information? Are you saying that it is wrong timing that we are in a relationship now with them because they came to us? What are we supposed to do as women with this information? If we are too nice, you tell us we're too nice. If we're too strict, you say we're too strict. If we're too kind, we're too kind. Like, what are we supposed to do with this kind of information? That is what they are asking. So let me show you all these videos, then we'll come back and talk about it.
saying men don't marry the love of their life, they marry the girl that's around when they're ready. What are we supposed to do with that information exactly? Like every time I look up, it's a new theory. It's something else that I gotta lay up in the middle of the night looking at the ceiling thinking about, like, well, where did I go wrong? Stop. Like, y'all out here saying, oh, well, men only get married when they see their friends getting married. Well, the leader of the pack gets married first, and then it slowly begins to trickle down. What are we supposed to do with the information? And I don't think a lot of y'all understand that that is like emotionally jarring for a lot of people. And I may be the only person that is strong enough to speak on this because everybody want to act like they don't got feelings. I can say this as a person that doesn't center men and doesn't chase love. That emotionally hurts my feelings because do you know how many times that's basically saying to me, oh, you're not good enough? Like, as an ex-lover girl, as an ex-hopeless romantic, and also as a person that does very well with expressing themselves, that hurts my feelings in a way that I can't even put it into words. I can't even explain why it hurts me the way that it does, but internally it hurts. Because I told y'all months ago how I was just one of those girls, like, I wanted love. Love just never wanted me. And then for y'all to turn around and say, oh, well, men don't marry the love of their life. They marry who's around when they ready to get married. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Because are you saying that I just have terrible timing? Because I'm really sick of y'all moving the goalposts. It's, well, you're not pretty enough. Or you're not skinny enough. Or you too nice. You got to be mean to him. Oh, he's just not ready right now. You got to catch him when he's ready. He came to me. Either way, I'm sick of this goalpost being moved. And it's pissing me off because none of this makes sense emotionally or logically. Or logically. None of this makes sense. Tell them, Booger. Tell them, we just don't understand. Say we don't understand. Everybody saying men don't marry the love of their life. They marry the girl that's around when they're ready.
What's so funny is most women do the exact same thing. That's why a lot of women, when they finally get a DNA test, that child is not his. That child belongs to the person she actually loved. It belongs to the person who was married already. It belongs to the person that got 25 to life. She, to this day, checks on the account of the person that she loved, and it's not her husband. Being married for love is relatively new. When most cultures around the world, to this day, when they get married, it's based on tradition. It's based on family connections. It's based on resources. It's based on, opportunity. Most women who marry, they don't marry for love. They marry because he was a good provider. They married because I'm allowed to be a stay-at-home wife with him. And men, I married you because you were going to be a good mother. You were going to keep my house up. You have family ties. Your parents have long money. There's opportunity if I marry you. You are socialite. This idea that people get married for love is why so many people's marriage fails. The people who are successfully married, yes, they love each other, or they don't love each other at first, and they grow to love each other. But typical marriages that last for a long time, it is about duty and goals. Duty and goals. We want to raise kids together. We want to buy a house together. We want to have this business together. We want to put each other through school. We just don't want to be single. We're sick of dating. Even lavender marriages. It's rarely ever love that keeps people together. Rarely.
For everybody saying men don't marry the love of their life, they marry the girl that's around when they're ready. What are we supposed to do with that information?
No, an unhealed man marries in that way. Because you know what a healed man will do? He'll recognize that he probably had a phantom ex, maybe, because he was an avoidant, and he worked through all that crap of limerence and projecting onto your partner. He healed, realized that person actually wasn't his lifetime partner, lets them go, and opens space for the next woman who can create another environment for him that will flourish without him having to stay stuck in his trauma. And guess what? On the flip side, a woman will marry a man when she understands that he has done the work and he can provide and he can lead. And I'm not just talking about financially. They will be equally yoked because they have both done the work. People who are unhealed come on here and spew this nonsense. And I am so sick and tired, because my thing is, don't project your own negative experiences onto the next person. Just because you didn't have a happy marriage doesn't mean they're not going to have a happy marriage. And I just stuttered on my words because it gets me so ticked off.
For everybody saying men don't marry the love of their life, they marry the girl that's around when they're ready. What are we supposed to do with that information exactly?
Nothing. You're not supposed to do anything with it. The theories and ideologies that people spew on social media about relationships really are just their ways of trying to understand the world. That is actually the purpose of a theory in general. It is our way to understand the world around us. However, the problem with these theories is it is rooted in other people's poor experiences. And so they create theories around their experiences and not around what is actually true for a majority of people. That's what makes a theory a good theory and a reliable theory. It can be applicable across a broad range of situations in the area of study. Also, these theories are so disempowering because it makes women responsible for maneuvering and figuring out which game a man is trying to play on the road to partnership. And that is a lot of weight and stress that men don't often have to carry for themselves. It's no wonder why women are becoming discontent and giving up on the prospect of love. It's because we're playing this game that we were never meant to play instead of living in our own bodies and experiences and deciding, I like this, I don't like that. That should be your position when it comes to love and dating. People are giving you these theories as their way to understand their own experiences and oftentimes giving themselves excuses for some of the decisions that they've made. It doesn't mean that it's not true. For some subset of men, they do fall in line with the taxi cab theory. Some men do follow what their friends do. They're like, you know what? I don't want to be the only one that's not married in my friend group. Let me get serious. And I don't actually think that that's necessarily a bad thing. It just depends on how that man goes about it. But guess what? As the person on the other side of that, you get to decide if what they're showing you is good enough. You get to decide if you are willing to be that man's partner based off of how he shows up. The most important thing that you need to know about dating as a relational trauma therapist, somebody who helps people heal from past relational issues and to build healthy and sustainable romantic relationships in the future, is one, yourself and your own personal proclivities, what you need, what you want, what you desire, like out of your own life. And then you need to understand the kind of man that would complement that, the kind of man that would grow into that well, that would fit that lifestyle well, that shares your core values. And three, you need to have standards and boundaries. All of these theories don't matter because the reality is the question, why are you single, even if you're asking it to yourself, is kind of irrelevant. It's what do I want and what am I willing to do to get there? And what you want should be dependent on who you are, the type of lifestyle that you want, the kind of man that you want and who would fit that lifestyle, and your boundaries and standards, meaning what you are willing to accept or expect to get there. Everything else is just a theory. It's just speculation based off of other people's opinions.
For everybody saying men don't marry the love of their life, they marry the girl that's around when they're ready.
What are we supposed to do with that information? What are we supposed to do with everything that we learn about men in regards to women? Especially the women that grew up in a particular generation. These newer generations, things have been a little bit better. But for most of us, my age, 30 up, 40s, the idea that we had of men was Hallmark and Disney princesses and romance novels. That there's this idea that some man is going to fall madly in love with you, protect you, find you attractive, accept you no matter what. And everything in life is quite the contrary. We learn that men typically never end up with the woman that they really love. That they wish you were somebody else, that they've settled for you. That men aren't actually very nice to women. They don't like to hear us talk. That it's annoying. That so much of the love that they have for us is determined by how we look and their attraction to us. Like, that we have to settle for the fact that it is in a man's nature to just genuinely not be protective to women's emotional health, mental health in any way, shape, or form. Like, we just have to accept the fact that we are not going to be liked or treated well by men. Like, everything that we learn about men is jarring. It's sad. Like, so many women in my generation, the women that's still riding, that's still sweet, that's still kind, you find out men aren't genuinely attracted to that. That men fall in love through anxiety and absence. The girls that they tell you that they don't want, they want the most. The girls that actually didn't give a shit about them, the girls that led them on, the girls that made them chase, those are the ones that they cannot get over because they couldn't conquer and own those women. The ones of us that are actually good, loyal riders, holding them down, they're annoyed by us, want us to be seen and not heard. Like, everything about men point to the very opposite of what we romanticize, what we were sold on. And so many of our self-worth was determined on who picked us. Our whole everything is about being picked. Like, if we are good enough, did a man pick us? Why didn't a man pick us? And even if they do, it's nothing like they said that it would be. We're trapped inside of a white picket nightmare. 9 times out of 10, 99 out of 100, shit, 999 out of 1,000. It's nothing like they said it would be. And yet most of us designed our whole life around being married because they said that we should, that was the only purpose that women had. So you're damned if you're picked and you're damned if you're not. Like, what are we supposed to do with the reality of dealing with men? And this is the stuff that you guys say. How you talk about women. How you tell us that there's always the one that got away. You might find one particular thing that you like about a woman and stick with that woman for those things and then treat a woman like shit because you didn't like anything else. I had a friend tell me recently that he has met women that would love him for the rest of his life, but that he would be ashamed to go in public with them because he would fear that people would look and wonder why he was with her. Because she's not attractive enough. He's met so many women that would love him for the rest of his life, that he thought was attractive, that he thought was pretty, that he liked their personality, but he didn't think that others would perceive her as attractive enough. Do you know how many women have never experienced the one that got away? That is specifically a male issue. Most women don't have the "I wish I would have treated him better." But almost every man I've ever met in my entire life has a woman that they cannot get over because they wish they would have treated them better. But in reality, even if they got another chance, they probably still wouldn't. And yet they punish every woman afterwards because of it. So with all that being said, what are women supposed to do about everything that we learn about men?
So the first question, what are we supposed to do with the information? Is for you to know that men do not marry for love. Women marry for love. Okay? Women marry because they love the man and they see potential. They see him as a good father, even without you even getting pregnant for him yet. They see you as a good person. They see you as someone that has good potential later in the years. Women marry because they feel loved, because of how a man is making them feel at that point, or how it's going to make them feel later on. Women don't really marry the way men marry, and that's why we are saying that men marry only the women in front of them when they are ready to get married. They do not marry the women that they love. They do not marry the women that they like. They do not marry their preference. They do not marry the ones that makes their head go gaga. They marry the one that feel like, okay, this one's going to be a good mom. This one's going to be a good wife. This one will obey. When I tell her to sit down, she's going to obey. So let me marry her. These are the qualities these men look at when they are picking who to marry. So saying this is for you to know that even though you feel like this man married for love, it might not have been love. It might just be because he's being stressed at home. His family members are like, you know what, you need to get married, or his mom is telling him, you need to get me a grandchild, and you're the one available at that time. He's going to marry you. It's not because he likes you, and that's why marriage these days doesn't last. It do not last because they're not marrying because they actually want to be with you. They're not marrying because they want to be close to you or they want to be your friend or something. That is why you see these men, once they get married to you, they start showing you who they are really. They start being unavailable, they start treating you anyhow, start screaming, shouting, yelling, beating, and all of that once they get married to you. And they won't do all of that before they got married to you, because they know that they cannot show you who they are at first. You cannot love somebody and want to cheat on the person. These men cheat on you even when they're married to you. That's why most people that cheat most, or they're on the dating app most, or they go to or they're patronized and sex workers and all of that, are mostly married men, because in their head they are single. In their head they didn't marry the person that they want, and you see them cheating on their wife with a different kind of person that is different from their wife. So they didn't actually marry their preference. They only married the person that was only the person that they feel like is going to be available. So this is just, and I feel like this is just to tell women that want to get married that if you feel like this man is marrying you for love, because you are marrying him for love, obviously he's not doing that with you. He's doing that because of what he's seeing in you. So this is just to let women see that you yourself do not marry for love, marry for benefits. What is this man benefiting me right now? Not in the future. Not what am I going to benefit from him when? What am I benefiting right now? Is marrying him going to change my life in a good way or going to make it worse? You need to think about those things. Should I have children for him? How many children can I take care of when I have children for him? Not how many children can he handle, because you're the one that's going to have those children. You need to sit down and be strategic with being in a relationship. It's supposed to be like a contract, business contract, because they see these things as business contract. That's why when a man marries a wife and she falls very ill, she can't do anything, they leave. They get married to somebody else, or probably she got blind, or she lose her hand or legs. They leave her. They are not there for her because they married her because of the things that she has. But a woman will stay with a man that cannot even move from the bed. They cannot talk, they cannot do anything. She's going to stay with him till the end. A man is not going to do that. A man will not stay with you to the end. He's already finding somebody else, already leaving you for somebody else because you're no longer important. That's what we're trying to say, that they do not marry because they love you or because they want to be with you for who you are. They're married because of the things that are getting from you, because of the benefit they are seeing from you. I feel like what women are supposed to do right now is not get married at all. But if I thought you're going to get married for benefits. Anyway, you guys, what's your take on this conversation? Let's go to the conversation down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, Sugar Mary Davis. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.